What's going on, everyone? John Redger from Techno Buffalo here. Android Wear devices and other wearables are coming out at a crazy clip, but this guy caught my attention more than any other at Mobile World Congress a few months ago. This is the Huawei Watch. I used it for 8 days, 5 days with the Galaxy S6 Edge Plus and the Moto X Pure Edition, and 3 days with iOS. So I want to share my thoughts and opinions, and most importantly, answer the question, would I buy it? I'm John Redger from Techno Buffalo. This is my review of the Huawei Watch. So just right off the bat, this is a gorgeous looking wearable, and I'm probably going to say that a lot throughout the review, so create a drinking game if you want, but it's the best looking Android Wear watch I've ever used. When reviewing an Android Wear watch, it's kind of simple because the software is all the same on here, save for a few watch faces. So we're going to focus on some different things. We're going to look at design, performance, battery, and other kind of features. So at a starting price of $349, this is not a cheap wearable, but it is a bona fide computer on your wrist. The screen is 400 by 400. It's a complete 360-degree circle, no flat tire on the bottom. Moto 360. It's a beautiful AMOLED display. It looks really nice. It's the best looking screen I've ever seen on a wearable. 1.2 gigahertz Snapdragon 400 chip, 512 megabytes of RAM, and 4 gigs of onboard storage. This is essentially a phone on your wrist, really quick. I never noticed any sort of lag, never noticed any sort of stutter. I never felt at all any lack of performance here. Very nicely spec'd watch, which is kind of a weird thing to say about a watch. So I mentioned, I'm going to say this a lot, but the design, it's gorgeous. It is easily the best looking Android Wear watch I've ever used. And I love the display, it just goes all the way around. I will say though, it does look a bit weird on smaller wrists since it is very thick. So if you've got thin wrists, I would try it in a store before you buy it. The button or crown, whatever you want to call it, at the 2 o'clock position feels really nice. And I know it's weird to kind of gush about a button, but it feels nice. It's got the right amount of clickitude to let you know you're actually doing something, and it looks like an actual crown on a typical watch. So hats off to Huawei. This is their first watch that they've built. They've had other wearables, but this feels like a 5th, 6th, or 7th effort. The design here is really incredible. I talked about the screen a little bit earlier, but it looks incredibly sharp here. At 400 by 400, it's one of the highest resolution screens out there, and you can really tell. Things just look crisp and clear. The watch faces look great. Also, it's coated in sapphire crystal, so if you accidentally hit up against a door or a desk or something, you are more than likely not going to scratch it, so very durable here. But not everything is perfect in Huawei watch land. There are some weird things here as well. So it has, as you'd expect, an optical heart rate sensor. It's obviously on the back, but it's not going to continuously check your heart rate on other devices, like you might see on like the Fitbit Charge, for example, or the Apple Watch. It's on demand, so you have to actually do it if you want to check your heart rate. You go through and do it manually in the settings menu. Might be a big deal for some, might not be a big deal for others, but I thought that I'd mention if you like to always know what your heart rate is sort of at a glance, you're going to have to keep going through in settings and open up the app and then check it. It's got all the sensors you'd expect for modern wearable here, things like gyroscope, accelerometer, and barometer as well. Unfortunately though, there's no GPS like you might find on other watches like the Sony Smartwatch 3 or the Moto 360 Sport. Also, if you're planning on picking one up for a workout watch, I probably wouldn't recommend it. It will though track basic activities like steps, distance, and calories burned. So if that's important to you, it will at least do that. I would have liked to have seen NFC here as well for mobile payments, but it's not here. Also, an auto emission is no ambient sensor, so it won't automatically detect the light and change itself. You got to sort of go through and set it. Just a strange emission on an otherwise really nice watch. So I mentioned at the beginning that I used it for 3 days with iOS. I should have been more specific and said I tried to use it for 3 days. The last one I tried it with was the iPhone 6s Plus, and it wouldn't hold a connection to that either. Battery life was about what you'd expect. I was able to get through a day and a half without charging it. For me though, if I can get through a full day, that's all I need. I can charge it at night. But if you're the kind of person that likes to charge your watch every 2 or 3 days, look elsewhere. But if you can deal with plugging it every night, you're going to be fine. So the question I try to answer in all my reviews was, would I buy it? Yeah, I would absolutely buy this watch. It looks incredible. It almost looks like a normal watch, and the Huawei faces that come with it are gorgeous. If you're a fan of classic watch complications, those are going to be in there. You can customize them. They just look very nice. So yeah, I would buy it. The only thing that would maybe give me some pause is the price. Starting at $349, it's not cheap, and it goes up to $400+ depending on the band that you want. Like this blingy metal band that we have here. So if you're price conscious, there are other options out there. You're gonna get a similar experience for less money. The current generation Moto 360 is the first one that comes to mind. But I do love the screen. I love that it's a full 360. It's a beautiful watch to look at. It's bright, it's clear, text looks awesome, and I've really enjoyed wearing it. So if you're not put off by the price, jump in. Huawei's got a big winner on their hands here. Just don't try and use it with iOS. Anyway, what do you guys think? Love to hear your thoughts on it. Leave the comments down below. Until next time, I'm John Render from Techno Buffalo. See you guys in the next one.